There is a fundamental concept in modern medicine that is missing, but it was well known prior to 1961. It is the most common mechanism of chronic disease. It's called cell starvation through nutritional deficiency lactic acidosis. And here's what it is. We have cells that are burning sugar, protein, or carbohydrates in excess. And there are 4 waste products that are made. And the liver typically takes care of them, but you can have a buildup of these waste products because on this side of the cycle, the cell is burning a lot of these fuels because of diabetes, cancer, or a really bad diet. You can have a buildup of these waste products on this side because the liver is toxic or deficient in nutrients. Therefore, it's not functioning well, and then you get a buildup of these waste products. So here are the 4 waste products. Ethanol, which is alcohol, which makes people tired and their brain doesn't work well. Acetaldehyde, which is the hangover feeling. Acetate, which is nail polish remover, which is very toxic. And lactate. So the liver has to take lactate and convert it back into sugar. Therefore, this is called the lactic acid cycle. Now, these are not acids, but they act like acids. And they knew this back in the 1920s. Therefore, they created the name lactic acid cycle and lactic acidosis. Okay, so now you have too much of the lactic acid waste products in the blood. Here's L for lactic acid, here's O for oxygen. They crowd out the oxygen. Now the blood is toxic with this and hypoxic of oxygen, or anoxic, meaning no oxygen. This makes the arteries dilate. Now this is a normal mechanism while exercising, because your cells are burning sugar, your body's breaking down protein, you're running out of oxygen because let's say you're running down the road, and then your arteries dilate. Now, if you're not exercising, but you just have these initial stages of chronic disease, the arteries dilate, the circulation slows down instead of speeding up. Now picture the little capillaries. They also dilate, and they get engorged with blood. So the capillaries now are engorged with toxic and hypoxic blood. They're supposed to be feeding cells oxygen and taking away their waste. But in this scenario, the cells die because they're starving. So now you have cell death. And if this happens in your muscles, the muscles tighten up. It's called rigor mortis. It happens with dead bodies within an hour. But if it's just happening, let's say, in your shoulders, chronically, now you're diagnosed with fibromyalgia. If it happens in your heart, you get a heart attack because the heart muscle tightens up. So you can have this happen in your brain. Cell starvation through lactic acidosis causing brain cell death. Now your thoughts go crashing down into worry, fear, doubt, anxiety, violent thoughts, even violent sexual thoughts. This could happen in any part of the body, and you get the symptoms of that organ. Now, lactic acids, these waste products from the lactic acid cycle, is the most common source of toxicity in the blood, but it also could be mold, or it could be a metal like a poison exposure, or it could be a chemical exposure. These toxins are crowding out oxygen, and then you get cell starvation and cell death.